Welcome to Reinventing the Arena, the podcast that guides you through the powerful journey of aligning, embodying, and rising into your most authentic self. We dive deep into the transformative power of doing the inner work because the most important relationship you have is the one with yourself. When you align with your authentic self, you naturally attract the relationships and experiences meant for you. I'm your host, Molly Conley, a coach who's passionate about helping you uncover who you truly are using human design, NLP, and self-empowerment tools. Here we explore the art of aligning with your authentic self, embodying your highest potential, and rising above old patterns to create a life that resonates with who you truly are. Whether you're seeking deeper fulfillment in love or your personal journey, this space is designed to inspire your evolution. Together, we'll explore self-discovery, share transformational stories, and uncover the energetic shifts needed to create the love and life you truly desire. This isn't just about change. It's about fully stepping into who you were meant to be. So, lady, align, embody, and rise. Welcome to your journey of self-transformation. Welcome to Reinventing the Arena. Hey there, lady. Welcome back to the podcast. I have been noticing a pattern within my client sessions, as well as observations with those around me over the last few months. And it is a pattern that I have noticed regularly within my old self as well. So today, I'm just going to talk about some of the things that I'm seeing, how that relates to you and your current self-transformation journey. During a recent client session, my client was rambling off her to-do list and digging into why each area was important, what it was going to help her do, and even saying what her next steps would be. Now, while this is a part of a process to maybe outline a strategy for someone, whether that's in their career, finding a job, doing something for their business, working through some difficult conversations or situations in a relationship, or even just thinking about maybe relocating. This can be for anything, right? There is something when we have these conversations about rambling off our to-do list. Because what it is starting to bring up is not necessarily a strategy, but a way to show that we have a plan or that we have it all put together. But deep down, when you have numerous to-do lists and strategies for multiple areas of your life, you are tired of pretending to have it all together. You are tired of pretending that you have it all figured out. This has been one area that I had to discover before coaching. This is one area that my clients can get sucked and trapped in as well, because they think, and I, like I said, used to be the same way, they think that they're trying to find clarity, that they think that they're trying to find the right decision. They think that having these to-do lists and these strategies is keeping them on track. But what if I told you that's not true? What if you're not supposed to have it all figured out? What if being in between and staying with uncertainty isn't a sign that you're behind, but a really sacred and integral part of your self-transformation process? So today, that is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what happens when we release the pressure to figure out everything in our lives and open up the space to actually sit with that uncertainty, to sit in the discomforts of sometimes not knowing what is next. So we're often taught that clarity equals safety. It equals security. It equals wisdom and knowledge, being, like the man with the plan, that you are the leader, that people can rely on you, people can trust you. That if we can just figure out the right next step, the big life plan, the perfect strategy, then we'll feel better. We will feel successful. We will feel confident. We will feel whatever you want to feel, fill in the blank. But the truth is, most of the time, that isn't safety. That isn't security. That isn't confidence. That's not even certainty. What is happening is that we're chasing control disguised as safety, as security, as confidence, all the things. So here's the deal. You don't have to have your whole life mapped out to move forward. Life's just not that simple, and life is just not that complex. You don't need to know where you're going. You just need to know where you are in this moment and what feels true in this moment. So let me take you back to that client conversation. I probably asked her a handful of questions within an hour. And it wasn't until the end where she started to lean in from thinking into feeling. That is why I emphasized feeling in that last moment on the podcast, feeling what's true to you in this moment. When you are constantly in the loop of thinking, you're actually draining your energy because you're looking for the mind to give you answers. You're looking outside of yourself as well for inspiration, for the answers, for the next steps. And this can lead to burnout. This can lead to feeling like you're not enough, which is exactly what it did for her. So in that conversation, she said, I had a mistake here. I wish I would have done it this better. I can't believe I did that. And when I layered all these projects and all these experiences on top of one another, I felt a deep sense of not being good enough, of people not seeing me for who I was. And in that moment, I asked her, what would it feel like to be enough? What would it feel like to know that you did what you could, that you did your best? And she immediately said, I think. And I had to pull her back because her brain doesn't know, just like mine, just like yours, her brain doesn't know feelings. It knows thoughts. And we have to sit back, shut off our mind as much as we can, and tune into our body to feel the physical sensations and to start understanding what our emotions are telling us, where they are showing up in our bodies, what they feel like, those physical sensations, and pairing them together. Because when you're able to start to say, oh, I had a little bit of anxiety come up when XYZ didn't happen, you're able to locate that in your body. And as soon as you start to really pair those together, like for me, I have sometimes a tightness in my throat. And I have come to learn what that is. It's anxiety. It's also holding myself back from saying what I really want to say, from other conditioning of saying, oh, that's not really what you should say, or you need to be quiet at the moment, or going back to things that my mom said that might be similar to you, that children should be seen and not heard. All of those things impact how I speak. It impacts how I have and have not shown up. So it's the same thing of saying, oh, when that anxiety comes to my throat, do I feel forced? Does my body feel, was my mind forcing me to speak right now? Or is there something that I really want to share? There's something that I really want to talk about with you, but my conditioning is blocking it because I don't know how you're going to interpret it. I don't know how you're going to say, oh, Molly, that hurt. All those things you can take into your own experience. And so when my client and I leaned into what was showing up for her, she felt as if she was, not enough. And this showed up in anxiety, overwhelm, the lack of energy. So she felt her body become drained and not feeling like she could tap into the side of her that really spoke to her creative side, to her happiness, to her joy. And so that's what she's currently working on. She's tapping into that connection and understanding where those are feelings of uncertainty, of anxiety are really showing up in her body, and how she then can transition those emotions through different processes that she and I discussed to help draw in more creativity, to draw in more joy, to draw in more of herself. This is something that I just see with my clients all the time, and it really is different for each client, but the ones who give themselves permission to be in that unknown, to be in that silence, to be in the gap, usually find their clarity faster. Not because they're pushing harder, not because they're hustling, not because they are following someone else's formula, but because they stop resisting where they are. They are actually accepting themselves in the moment and being present in the moment. Here's how to know if you are currently blocking your own personal growth, your own self-transformation, that your solutions are literally coming from your mind, not when you are in silence or when you're pausing to tap into yourself, your body, or your intuition. When your brain is thinking so much that you're in analysis paralysis, you are into perfectionism, where something has to be 80% to 100% there before you take the next step, for example, or you're actually performing to please other people. So in order to be the best mom, I need to take my kids to Disneyland because everybody else is going to Disneyland. That is performing because you want to please others. That is hindering your growth to be the unique parent that you are. Also, when you're tapping into your mind, it disconnects you from the present moment because your brain is actively seeking a solution. It is actively thinking of the next opportunity. It is actively searching for a solution outside of yourself. And what does that do? It takes your power away. It hinders your intuition. It discounts your own experiences. And it tells you a story about who you are and who you're not. So in human design, your strategy and your authority do not give you a 5-year plan. They guide you toward alignment, one moment and one decision at a time. If you're on my email list, you know that I have confessed a few weeks ago prior to this recording that I don't feel lit up when I'm on Instagram. I don't feel lit up posting into the void of Instagram, into social media. And I never have, to be honest. But as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and as a coach, I have been told relentlessly that the only way that you can be successful in your business is to be on social media. And, I bought into that. Right after my husband and I moved from Omaha to St. Louis, I bought into a $3,000 coaching program where I was taught different ways to make content, all of the basic ways to do the messaging, all of the ways to get people excited to trust you, to think of you as an authority figure. And let me tell you, while that did work for me in the beginning, because I was getting the metrics that we thought were successful, I wasn't doing the deeper work of really seeing A, is that the audience I wanted to attract, which was no, it was attracting other people like me who then copied my work, which is still something that happens all the time. And so those metrics were showing me all those things, but I didn't look at the other metrics. And those are the things that aren't on Instagram. They're not on a Google spreadsheet. They're not found in my analytics. They're found within me. And when I constantly felt like I was needing to put out content once to 3 times a day, write XYZ amount of emails, put out this many podcasts, I realized that I was pushing, I was forcing. And I slowly but surely started to dial things back over the last, 6, 8, 9 months. And that was when I noticed how Instagram itself was slowly but surely sucking my energy. And after tapping into human design over the last year for myself to really experiment and be my own self study, my own case study, I realized this wasn't for me. I realized that for my energy, I had to step away. So by slowly, over time, sitting with the uncertainty, with sitting in the quiet, sitting in silence, meditating, journaling, all the little things you can start doing, I leaned into my strategy. I leaned into my authority. I leaned into where my energy felt in alignment, and that was leaving something behind. Do I know what's coming after it? I do now. But before, when I made this decision, I didn't. So this is where leaning into the body versus the mind and recognizing that whatever other people tell you might not be true for you. Because through human design, every single one of us is unique. And that means you are here for a whole different life, a completely different perspective, for a whole different experience, which means that you have a whole different plan that you can feel your way through, that you can be present with, because you don't have to have it figured out today. What if the pressure to figure it out was just replaced with something else? What if it was replaced with a practice of trust? This doesn't mean you stop making plans or setting aside all logic. It means you invite curiosity instead of control. There's different ways that I practice this. I've kind of already shared some little things like meditating, journaling, sitting in silence for a little bit. But I really believe in tapping in to your body and listening for what feels true to you, not just what sounds smart. Learning how to let your body lead, especially through your strategy and your authority, is going to help you even notice those energetic shifts, those frequency shifts that I mentioned in the last episode, as well as taking those lessons of listening to your body, listening to what feels true for you, and making small, micro decisions that are aligned for you instead of waiting for this grand entrance of maybe like a lightning bolt of certainty or clarity. Because uncertainty does not mean that you are lost. It means that you are in the process of becoming. I kind of even think of it more as the metamorphosis of a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. You're in the ooey gooey center, right? So, if this episode spoke to you, I really want to leave you with this. You are uniquely you. You are here to trust yourself and step into your authentic self because as you do that, as you become who you want to be and who you are, you're going to help other people do the same. It'll cause a ripple effect throughout your little community or your grand scheme of what is meant for you. You're not here even to do this all alone. Even though maybe you're an introvert sometime like me and you sometimes feel like you want to do it alone, you don't have to. So whether you're deep in your own transformation or standing at a crossroads or simply feeling the pull to discover and reconnect with your authentic self, I'm here for you. And there's ways we can do that together. So if you're curious about this, I have so many things that could be helpful for you. I'm having my first in-person workshop with novelist and ghostwriter Denise McGrail from Ghostwriting Solutions, St. Louis. Our workshop is called Designed to Connect, Storytelling That Sounds Like You. We're going to be exploring how you can connect with your audience in a deeper and human level because, as you know, the world is saturated with AI and chatbots, and authentic storytelling and your experiences are really how you connect with others, whether that's on business side or whether that's in your relationships. And so we're going to show you how to tap into your one-of-a-kind energy and turn it into a powerful, unmistakable voice. So this workshop is really focused for business owners, creatives, or entrepreneurs. And it's going to be an interactive 3-hour workshop held at the RFC. And we're going to have 30 minutes of networking, and then I'm going to present on human design, have a Q&A and a mini break, and then Denise is going to have her workshop, which will be about storytelling, with then Q&A afterwards and obviously connection before we end the day at noon. We will have light refreshments. There's obviously opportunities for networking, and you're going to leave with more than just inspiration. We are going to give you practical tools, ready to use ideas for stories, and give you a clear understanding of how to share who you are with your audience. Because every participant is going to receive a personalized workshop packet that is tailored to their human design. I'm going to be getting into your chart, pulling out the things that make you you, and give you not only the insights about that, but story prompts to guide you through my part of the workshop that then you can take not only with you when the workshop ends, but then you take them into the workshop with Denise and craft them from right then and there. Because honestly, when your story sounds like you, the right people hear it. I'm going to provide a link in the show notes for you to register. And we have an early bird pricing through the end of August, but we only have 20 seats available. So if this is something that you would like to do, please get in on it now. And if you have any questions, you know where to reach me. Other than that, let's say you're not in the St. Louis area. You can connect with me by joining my email list, as I will be sharing personal reflections, updates, and supportive insights each week. But if you want even more and you want a deeper dive, I also offer human design readings, human design video trainings, and even a report called You Unfiltered. It's 22 pages that you can download at any time to deepen your understanding of your uniqueness and your authentic energy. If you're looking for coaching, I do everything from single sessions on a sliding scale. This is perfect. If you want to untangle something that you're sitting with, if you're a previous client and you just want a one-off session, we can do that. If you're looking for deep, transformative work, I highly suggest looking into my one-on-one coaching program. This is going to incorporate not only your first session of a human design reading, but it is also going to incorporate the second session of the Energy Leadership Index Assessment, which you can find out more by listening to the last episode, and more information on my website about that one. But these are two tools that are going to allow us to really dive into who you are so that we can take that into the coaching program. This is unlike other coaching programs that say, oh, I'm going to have 6 sessions with you and let's just figure out a topic and work through it. No, we're going to have the information at our fingertips, and it is going to allow me to get immersed into your energy, into your design, so that when we meet, we can pull things out that are really sitting with you and say, oh, I see that you have this situation going on that reflects in your chart. Let's look into this and discuss how we can make this go in the direction that you are interested in, or maybe we need to put more presence with it and work through those limiting beliefs maybe or assumptions with some NLP work. So no matter what, I have an offer that is designed to meet you where you are and help you return to who you've always been underneath all the conditioning, all the noise, and everything else that you've been told to be. So like I said, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to start listening. All right, lady, that is all for today. I will be back in 2 weeks, and I really hope that if you love this episode, you will, leave a review or, write to me and tell me what you really enjoyed. And I will not see you on Instagram, but I will be here next time. Thank you, lady, for joining me on this journey of aligning, embodying, and rising into your most authentic self. Remember, the most important relationship you have is the one you have with yourself. And when you do the inner work, you naturally attract the love and life meant for you. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to rate and review the show. Your feedback not only helps more women discover the power of self-transformation, but also helps us grow this community. If you're ready to go deeper and align with a relationship and life you truly desire, I invite you to explore my coaching services. Together, we'll use human design, NLP techniques, and self-empowerment tools to help you break through old patterns and create a life that resonates with who you truly are. Visit reinventingthearena.com to learn more and take the next steps in your journey of self-discovery and alignment. Until next time, lady, keep aligning, keep embodying, and keep rising. Thanks for listening to Reinventing the Arena.